Hello, and welcome back to the Animal Communicator and Healer Summit. This is the place for aspiring and established animal communicators and healers to connect with animals, to connect with their abilities, and to connect with each other. I'm your host, Dr. Kara Gubbins, founder of the Animal Wisdom Circle and creator of How to Talk to Your Pet, the proven 4-step system that teaches anyone and everyone how to communicate intuitively with their pets or with any animal. And today we have Julen joining us from Hawaii, and we're going to be talking about how to boost your animal communicator or healer business with Feng Shui. So Julen is the founder of Finding Your Fiji. She's a Feng Shui expert and psychic. She's a certified Feng Shui practitioner, an IFSG Red Ribbon practitioner, and certified angel card reader. Angels and homes talk to her, and they always have helpful information to share. In 2017, Kim moved from Minnesota to Maui, sight unseen, to make her dream life a reality. Through her private coaching, feng shui consultations, and angel readings, Kim brings harmony to your head, heart, and home. She's passionate about helping you find your Fiji, whatever that may be for you. And you can find her online at findingyourfiji.com. Welcome, Kim.
So excited. I love our conversations.
I do too. And this one I know is one of your favorite topics. And I am so grateful to have this expertise applied directly to people who are animal communicators and healers, people who are already familiar with energy or getting to know energy. And now this is going to just open things up to another level for a lot of people, I think.
Around that.
I got chills too.
I'm like, it's so perfect. And we were talking just a little bit before we got on here, and I'm like, you're going to have to rein me in because I get so excited about this topic.
I know we've got a lot to cover, but before we really dive into it, I always want to share and find out about your story of how you came to be a Feng Shui practitioner and specializing in all the things that you do.
Yeah. So I feel like I've been doing it all my life. I noticed it even since the 7th grade when I had a circumstance where I lost all of my friends and started moving furniture around in my bedroom, which helped me sort of open up and meet new friends. But the actual Feng Shui journey, like when I discovered Feng Shui, it was when we had moved into a new home. So this was in 1998. And we moved into this new home and things weren't going well. Like we had plenty of money coming in, but it was going right out the door. Like we just couldn't seem to rein that in. Our relationship wasn't very good. Just lots of different little things were going wrong. And so I went to I was at the library with my boys. I used to take them there a lot when they were little, and they'd pick out their books and I'd be looking at books. And I found a book on Feng Shui. And I was like, this is interesting. I'm going to try this. And I did. And dang, didn't it worked really, really fast. And so that just kind of hooked me in. I ended up practicing, just reading a lot on my own and practicing it on my own for about 10 years, and even sharing like in networking groups, little tips or different things like that for about 10 years before I actually got certified actually would have been more than 10 years because that was 98. I got certified in 2014. So again, like when you're ready, the teacher appears, right?
I love it. So what were some of the things that you learned from the books that you applied to that house, that new house right away?
Yeah, so one of the things was a front door, back door alignment. So when you stood at our front door, you could literally roll a ball and it would go out the patio door. And when that happens, you can have money coming in, but then it's going right out the back door. And so what I learned is, and I've learned a little bit more since then, obviously, but to place something round between the front and back door helps keep the energy in your space. So one of the things that I love to use is just a little crystal. So I have one of these, if you can see that, they're little 20 millimeter round faceted crystals you can hang just from the light fixture in the front hall, and that will help keep the energy in your space. So that was one of the things that I learned.
I love it. So did you start not spending all of your money and having some extra money?
Yeah, it was amazing. It really, I was like, I just had to hang this crystal and the money started staying with us. Like that was kind of crazy. We were also missing a piece of our partnership corner. So when you look at this bagua behind me, each area of your life correlates to an area in your home. And the partnership area is this back right corner of your home. We were missing it. We didn't have that piece. And so I placed an adjustment for that, and that improved the relationship. Things started getting better there.
Wow. So my mind just went somewhere, and I'm not sure if I should ask you about my house or not, because I think that I love this stuff. It's so fascinating, and how you can use your space as kind of a metaphor and a model for a part of your life. And my house is a little rectangle, and we have an addition in the center that butts out. So then my brain goes, well, maybe I don't have a partnership area either, or maybe it's inside. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I do.
Do I look at the original house, or do I include
like
the
if you have an addition that just comes out in the middle and the back, that's actually an extension, and that actually is a boost for you in your fame area. So
Yay!
yeah, so your main bagua would be in the full part of your home, and then you get that boost, that energetic boost in your fame area, which is true for you,
Which
right?
is kind of happening with the summits and everything, right?
Totally is happening.
So maybe I'll spend a little more time cleaning up in there, and
Yes.
it's really Chris's space, but he's not interested in being famous, so I'll I'll work with him on that.
Yeah, but so it's both of yours home, so you get to take advantage of that energy.
Yeah, awesome. So I love this, because we're starting to already see how making some shifts in our environment can make shifts in our lives. And for so many of us who want to start our own business, there's very little distinction between our personal lives and our professional lives. And we can work on the energy of our space to help either. So where do we start? So for somebody who, say, has their own business as an animal communicator or a healer, where would they start with Feng Shui to help?
Yeah, so before we get fully into that, I just want to share with maybe some people that aren't familiar with what Feng Shui is, just a basic definition, or kind of my view on it. Feng Shui literally means wind and water. So it really is about this balance of energy. So it's very much connected, as you mentioned, animal communicators are very connected to energy. So it's an easy leap or viewpoint about that. One of the things with Feng Shui, I like to say, is it creates an environment that energetically supports you and the things that you want to draw into your life. So you can think of it as kind of like a physical dream board, if you will. So that's one thing. Yeah, just to make that clear. And for start, kind of the main things to keep in mind when we're beginning is the 4 principles of Feng Shui, which is everything is energy. So the first thing, everything is energy. Like this pen is energy. Everything in your home carries an energy. And sometimes we forget that, right? Things have been in our space for so long, we even forget that they're there, or where we got them, or why we have them. But it's energy, right? And it impacts you. So that's the first thing. The second thing is intention. So intention is really key, because it's not just about moving your stuff. Why are you doing it? What's the point? What do you want to draw in? What do you want to attract, right? And then the third thing is using a nature as a model for balance. So those, we're going to mention my free gift later, and they'll get a copy of this bagua, which shares with you the 5 different elements as they relate to the different areas of your life. So we like to bring in the elements into our space. Fire, water, wood, metal, and earth are the 5 elements. And so we want to bring those into our home, and we use them in Feng Shui to balance, right? So if you're in a space like Maui, there's tons of water, right? Tons of wood as well, lots of plants and things like that. But then we need to balance that with some metal energy, balance it with, you know, the fire energy, all of that kind of stuff. And then the fourth thing is your space reflects your life. So I can literally go into somebody's home, not even know them, and tell them what's going on in their life because I can read the space.
So when you talk about the bagua, the diagram behind you, that's how you can do that, right? You can see what's going on in this partnership area or fame or family or whatever. And if there's a big clutter or that it's empty or it's, you know, got all the garbage, then that tells you something about what's going on in their lives.
Yes. So in particular, if you have a particular area, that's a really great perspective there. If you have a particular area that you're struggling with, go look and see what's happening there. What is going on? What are you keeping there?
Do you want to give us an overview of those 9 areas real quick, and then maybe we can go into how to apply them to our business?
Sure, I can do that. So the first area that I always like to talk about is the wealth area. That's that back left corner. And the wealth area is like it, you know, like the name, it is about money, abundance, but abundance in all forms. So it can be about receiving gifts, getting free things. I'm in the midst of doing a treasure box club right now, and people are like getting all kinds of goodies coming into them. And it's also that sort of energy of charity, having money to give, all of that kind of energy. Then when we go down to family, that is in the middle and the left-hand side of your home, that is about your family of origin. So your parents, your siblings. It can be in business about partners, people that you partner with, your business family, as it were. And then when we go down to knowledge, which is on the left in the front of the home, and these are all, just as a point, these are all based on the front door. So the front door is going to be in this bottom line somewhere. Could be in the middle typically. Now, sometimes we have weird home shapes and you might have a door like on the side or something, or the door might come in sort of middle, but this is kind of typical average if you have a square home, right? Like yours. Front door will be somewhere along that line. So the left front then is the knowledge area, which is about things we want to learn. It's a great place for a library. It's also about our connection and our learning, the wisdom that we're getting from above and from our divine, our spirit guides, our angels. So that's a really key area in the home. And then career is in the middle, in the front of the space. And career is just what it talks about, your life purpose, things that you light you up, things that you enjoy doing. So even if you're not employed, you still have a life purpose. You still have things that you're doing, right? And so that's that career area. And then helpful people is in the front right. And that's where the clients come in. And that's our little bonus. I'll get a little plug for our bonus interview, because we're going to be talking about how to attract more clients in that particular section. And that helpful people area is one that helps with that. It's also about travel. So if there are things that places you want to travel, it's a great place to keep those travel brochures, that type of thing, like your retreats, right? Somebody wants to go on there, they could put that in their little area of their home. And then creativity and children is in the middle on the right-hand side, and that is about you know, your children, which I also read as pets. So it can be your physical children, sons and daughters, but also your pets. It's creativity, so it's like where things are born. That white is like that clean slate, right? And then partnership, we talked about, is romantic partnership, but also can be partnership with the divine, with yourself, with business partners, that type of thing. Fame in the middle, back is your reputation, what you want to be known for, how you show up in the world, all of that type of thing. And then health is in the very center, and that touches everything, right? Because if we don't have our health, everything else is impacted. So it really impacts everything. And the health related to business is about the health of the business, but it's also about your personal health. How are you taking care of yourself?
So if somebody had their business at home, they would use this whole bagua for the home space, right?
Right. And you
And
can
what if they,
also
yeah.
do it to any room. So you can apply this to any particular room. So your office, for example, you would, based on the door to the office is, you have one of these areas in each of your in your office. You can even do it like on your desk or on a dresser in your bedroom. It can be applied in a number of different ways.
I remember when I was having a business challenge and a few years ago, and I talked to you about it, and we used my desk as the bagua, and I was having a contentious relationship with a business person.
Yeah.
And so I put in my drawer that's right here, right in front of me, if my desk was the bagua, that helpful people. And so I put a little note in that drawer, drawing in people who would help me resolve the situation. And
Yeah,
it got fixed like so fast without any
it
effort.
does.
It was really awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I love about feng shui is it works really fast.
Yeah, so if somebody has an office or a rescue center, or someplace that's not their home, they could take this bagua and go and overlay it over any space that they're working in, and right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I love how we can break it down. Like, I'm sure I could break down my desk drawer into the bagua.
Right?
The
Yeah.
far right
Yeah.
corner is my helpful people and my knowledge.
That's a little too much metal
Am I
energy.
going too far?
Very focused, very detailed, like very small picture kind of
If I
energy.
had a bento box for lunch, then I could put.
Right? Yeah.
So now that we kind of understand the energy and the bagua, what can we do to get started?
Yes. So to get started, I always look at where the energy enters your space, which is your front door, right? So we call this the mouth of chi, and this is where all the energy comes into your space. And so many times people are struggling because they have this great product, this great service. They're really amazing at what they do, but they can't get anybody to them to appreciate it, right? And so that front door is really the gateway for this energy. And so I just always encourage people to take a walk from the street to your front door. What do you see? Like, is it pleasant? Are you able to see your front door? Is there a nice journey? Are the bushes overgrown? Is it maybe your front door is like the same color as the rest of the house. That's going to make it blend in, not stand out. So we really want to make that front door stand out. Put a pretty wreath on it, put a couple plants on either side that creates sort of a beautiful gateway. Anything that you can do to attract that energy to the front door is going to be helpful.
Okay, so starting with that, so we're looking at the energy flow. Then once the energy gets inside, what do we want to do with it?
So when the energy comes in, we want somewhere for it to sit down so it can stay. So it's really helpful if when you come into your home, if there's a living room there, or if it's a hallway, if you have some sort of bench, something for the energy to kind of come in and stay. And lots of times now I find homes where when you come into the home, like the living room or the family room, sort of the sitting areas in the back of the house, we really want to sort of direct the energy to where it can sit down. So if you can't, like if there's just a straight hallway and there's not room to put a bench or anything, direct the energy down there, right? Add something attractive in that room that can be seen from the front door that will draw the eye down into that area.
Okay, and then once we've got them in there and the energy is staying?
Yes. Then it's really about creating balance. So balancing a room. So just as an example, you might go into, this is more of an old fashioned thing, but when you used to go into a doctor's office, it was pure white, right? There wasn't really anything on the walls. Everything was white, very metal energy, and made people feel very uncomfortable, right? Now, as I know it, at least in my doctor's office, they have like beautiful pictures on the wall. They have color. They bring in, sometimes even have plants, that type of thing that makes you feel more comfortable. So anything that you can do to sort of balance the energy, and you can look around and see like what is the energy of this room. Sometimes it is very much fire energy. Maybe someone has a lot of red, a lot of like a fireplace, a lot of vibrant colors. That's going to be very fire energy. It's going to be hard to relax in that type of room, right? So in our office, we do want, just kind of moving into the office, you want to make sure that there's a clear path to get to your office, especially if you have your office in your home. Like, take that journey and see what's going on the way to your office as well.
And I have, so my office is in my house. It's in a bedroom that is divided in half. So half of it is my office space, and then I have my bookshelf behind me dividing the space. I have a file cabinet to my left. So really defining my space. My space is right here, right around me. And then we use the rest of the room for relaxing and reading and watching TV and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it really helped to focus my energy and to make it easy for me to relax when I created those clear physical boundaries around my space. So I have one entry, and it's really clear and it doesn't get cluttered, nothing goes in front of it. So, of course, as you're talking, I'm kind of checking off in my mind, do I have that? What's my space looking like?
Mm-hmm.
And then I come into my space and it feels very nurturing and supportive, because I feel very like I'm in a little womb here, right? Like I can be myself here, I can do my thing, I can focus, and I can leave. And those things have been super important to me energetically, just to be able to really sink into my business and feel supported in it.
Yes, and that brings up a really great point. Makes me think of something that is wonderful to share, is that it's important to have a defined workspace. So a lot of people that work at home, I've had clients where they're working at their dining room table, right? Or they have, even work in their bedrooms, right? And it's really, really important to have a separate space that is just for your work, and that you can, like for instance, if it is a dual purpose room, that you can maybe put up a screen or something so that when you're not working, you're not seeing that, right? And people, I just always encourage people not to do work in their bedroom, because that's supposed to be for rest and romance, like those two things only. And so bringing your work into your bedroom is not going to make for a restful sleep, is not going to help you recharge yourself. So I really encourage that you have another space. And it can be a dining room. Maybe you don't use your dining room. I kind of waffle about that, because dining rooms are important for gathering and for meals and all of that. But if you have another space that is a full table where your family can gather for meals, maybe you just completely turn the dining room into your office, right? So have a clear definition of, like, what is this room, right? What do we use this room for? What is this room and what should be in it, right? So looking at, should exercise equipment be in the bedroom? No. In your office? No, right? So really being clear about what the purpose is of the room and bringing those things into that space.
And that goes back to what you said earlier about your intention. Like, what's your intention for this space? What do you want to do there? And how do you want this space to support you in that?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So what's next on our business journey, our business feng shui journey?
So one of the things that I think is can be a stumbling block for people, whether they're working in their own business or working for someone else, is focus, right? And so something that I see a lot is where there's a lot of surfaces that have a lot of stuff on them, right? So horizontal surfaces are sort of your vision point. If you have a lot of stuff piled on horizontal surfaces, it is going to block your vision and you're going to have trouble focusing. So I encourage, get a system set up where you can maybe have it vertically, right? Where you can have your files or different things that you're accessing vertically. It's also something that can be helpful is having like a pretty box. At the end of the day, you put all of the stuff in that box, and so your desk is clear. So when you come in, you feel open, you feel you have that clarity, you feel like you have breathing room, right? And then you can pull the things out as you're needing to work on them, right, during the day. Because I'm very visual, so I know for me, when I'm actually working, I do have stuff around because I'm working on this and I'm working on that. And, it's impossible while you're actually physically working to have a clear desk. But at the end of the day, then I try to organize things and get that space clear for the vision, the focus.
I love that. And I think I'm going to take that one step further for myself, because I've cleared my desk recently where I have very few things on my desk, but I do have the file folders of projects I'm working on. So if I'm teaching a class, or, I've got my newsletter and blog, and I have those right next to me. And I just realized, like, I don't need them there all the time. Like, I can pull one out to work on it, because again, this is like a little spot of clutter, and it's a little bit of a message of like, oh, there's all these things that you should be doing, right? Like, you've got
Right?
all these
No.
plates that are spinning. What are you doing? But if I'm like very intentional about, now I'm going to work on my blog, and I pull out my blog folder to a clean desk, I can really, really see how I'm going to be so much more focused and less scattered.
Yeah.
And the chances of me feeling overwhelmed or drained or tired because there's just too much really, really decrease.
Yes, yes, exactly. One thing at a time is really, really helpful. And I'm going to give another little tip in our bonus interview too about clarity as well. So this will be a specific adjustment people can do for clarity as well. So yeah, the focus is just such an important piece of the business and of being able to get your work done, right?
Yeah. So what else? What else you got for us, Kim?
So the other thing that I wanted to share is about when there are challenges, right? So we often come into challenges or things that are problematic in our business. And this is where that helpful people area can be really useful. And you mentioned that you had, created an attention around something that you want to resolve. Something that you can do also is to get just like a little gray box or a gray envelope and write the names of everyone that you want to be helpful to you, right? So clients, your virtual assistant, your perhaps your mentor, all those different people that you want to be helpful to you. And you can put their names in that particular box and put it in the helpful people corner of your home, of your office, of your desk. That can be something that is really beneficial. Because the other piece about it is, and when you have something specific, a challenge that you're dealing with, like you did, is to specifically write out what is it that you need, right? What do you need help with? What do you want help with? And when you put that out there in writing on paper, you're telling the universe, you're putting it in order. Here it is. And then it will come to you.
And it delivers. So as you're talking about the gray box or the gray envelope and putting that in the helpful people space, what I'm wondering is, like, say I have a lot of vendors that I use. I use PayPal and Stripe for my money management, and I have Zoom for my video conferencing, and they're not like specific people. Obviously, there's people that work there, but if I wanted to do this for my business, I would maybe could I just put like all of my clients, all of my colleagues and partners that I work with on projects? Could I put like the company Zoom, the company PayPal? Would that work?
Yes, that totally works. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I'm kind of excited about that one. And it shifted something inside of me to really see the partnership. Like, they're part of my team, my business team, and we're in partnership together. And so I would love to like take that time to really acknowledge that by putting them on that list and putting them in a special place, because I am so grateful for all of those companies that support me and my clients and everything that we're doing.
Yes, exactly. That is a beautiful point, because I too have a lot of those same ones. And then PicMonkey is another one that I use a lot, right? There's so many different ones that services that help us, and the people behind those services that are helpful to us. So being intentional about, gratitude for them, and also being intentional about your desire for them to be helpful to you is really beautiful.
Love it. Any final words of wisdom you want to share with us today, Kim?
Ooh, yes, I will give a couple tips for your specific office. So you'll notice both Kara and I have high back chairs. This is a key thing, and mine has arms on it too, arms and a high back chair. Really helpful for support. I don't care where you do your work, having a high back chair is important because this is support for you, for your work. You can sit back, you can think, you can be the executive of your business, right? Don't be sitting on a Bosu ball. Don't be sitting on a little folding chair, right? Take command of your business by getting yourself set up with a desk and a high back chair.
Wow, I like it. That's so like powerful.
It is, it is.
Anything else that we want to make sure that we have in our specific office space?
Two things that I like for you to have in your office is a turtle. And I have my little turtle here. Oh,
And I have
have them
mine
on my
hanging from my
windowsill. You've got
window.
yours, yep. So it can be a picture of a turtle, or it can be like a physical little turtle like this. And that is about a longevity, about slow and steady wins the race. It's very much that energy also of protection. So for me, I have this window that is to the side of me, which isn't ideal because this room doubles as a guest room, right? So this is the only place to be able to put my desk. But that window is a lot of energy, and the turtle helps protect me from that window energy as well as bringing me the energy of longevity, right? And then the second thing that I encourage people to have in their office is a mountain. So the mountain is about the climb, right? So the climb to success, it's that energy of upward movement. It can be a picture of a mountain. It can be something physical that represents a mountain. Like I have this little triangle that represents a mountain, right?
Right. And I have this.
So, yep, exactly. Yep,
This is,
exactly.
I forget the stone, but it also protects from, computer.
Yes, this does too. It's got the little metal and a bunch of different gems in it. Yeah, so that's a really good thing to have. Or like I said, a picture of a mountain or something that represents a mountain, because that's again your your climb to success, your forward movement, right?
Beautiful. So we're going to go deeper into this with the top 5 Feng Shui tips for attracting new clients. So you guys at home, get your office space set up before you come over for the bonus interview, because you want to have that in place and then be ready for the new clients that are going to be coming to you when you apply the tips that Kim is going to share with us in the bonus interview. But before we go into that, you have a really nice gift for everybody today.
I do. And this is a brand new gift that I'm offering. It's called Open the Door to a Brighter Life. And this is going to give you 6 feng shui tips, things that are really easy to implement, things that you can easily do within your space to bring fresh energy, more harmony, and peace into your home.
And we have a button right here on this page that's going to connect people directly to that free gift. You can also, of course, visit Kim online at findingyourfiji.com, but we will hook you guys up and come back for the bonus interview, 5 feng shui tips for attracting new clients. That's available in the All Access Pass area, and there's also a button on this viewing page that will connect you to that. You can purchase your pass so that you have access to this interview, all of the interviews in the summit, plus all of the bonus interviews. And new this year, we've got 4 roundtable discussions about creating a professional animal communicator or healer business with established professionals, giving their top tips for that. So all of that's available in the bonus, in the All Access Pass area. The price goes up when the summit ends, so act now to get the best value and really make sure that you dial into all of those resources that can help you. And for now, I want to say thank you, Kim Julen, for sharing all of your great insight and information about how we can all use Feng Shui to boost our businesses.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's always so much fun. I always learn something new. It's so great. I love it. And I'm so excited to try stuff. And I hope the viewers are too. And if you are, come on back to the Facebook group and let us know, what did you try? What's your challenge? What's going on? Kim is really fantastic about being in the Facebook group and answering questions. So if you have a question, then definitely bring that there too. And we'll see you there. And hopefully we'll see you in the All Access Pass membership area for the 5 feng shui tips for attracting new clients. Kim, Julen, thank you so much. Thank you everybody for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.
Aloha.